Okay, quick video here. If you're experiencing skipping of labels on Zebra XI series, this also pertains to some of the other models that might have a sensor that has this design. But basically, perforation dust and other dirt can get into the printer. I've got this turned on its side because that's the best way. This is like looking at the side of the printer, but I've got it laying on its side so you can really kind of operate on it. But this is for getting in at that media. They call it the media sensor, but I'm going to point out where I'm going to be cleaning out to get the material out of here. So you can see there's a slot right there where the red wires, the red wire and the orange wire go down to. It's filled with material there. And believe it or not, this printer is still functioning okay, but we're going to clean that out and make sure that gets addressed, because if you don't get that handled, you will get skipping of labels if that gets clogged enough, which is, a waste of material, right? So I'm going to get in. I'll show you with the pointer specifically where I'm talking about. So it's this slot right there. It looks black right now, right? So, but if we get the light in there, you can see that there's material filling in that slot in that thing. So we want to get in there and just clean that out as best you can. Get in there with like a very small flathead screwdriver and just kind of scrape it down. Don't poke it in too far, and just make sure that little slot is open so that the little photo eye can read through there. And then the other half of the sensor is on this board, and you want to kind of clean off that board, make sure there's no accumulation of dust and dirt covering up the little LEDs that are shining on there. So you can see that little glass element there, that's the other half to the sensor. There's two of those on the board, so you got to clean those off. And the opposing end that's above the supply, so you see the way this works is that slot is above the material, this board is below the material, and it's reading through those gaps between the labels to detect and know, when the next label is occurring. So if that's not operating properly, you can get skipping of labels. And the other sort of test we do to take a look at that, and this was covered in one of my other videos, is you can do this sensor profile print and look at the amplitude of that spike. And you see here, this was still functioning and showing every 2 inches okay. So, but we're going to clean this out because this printer was pretty dirty and it needed the sensors to be kind of tuned up. So anyway, so for skipping of labels, that is one of many things that can kind of be involved in that. So clean that sensor out, maybe run the sensor profile print test again afterwards, and try and get a higher amplitude on that spike. And the sensor profile print test is in the main menu on the Zebra. Thanks.